Hi, I'm Steve Mack from LUX VIP Events, and this week's guest is Ronnie from Shelanous. Ronnie, welcome to LUX Chats, mate. Thanks for jumping on board.
Nice to meet you guys. I say nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming. Why did I say nice to meet you?
Well, it is nice to meet me, but thank you for reminding me. So, mate, you've had a big weekend. You've entertained. Let's just start with what you do, and then we'll go back in time. So, who are you? What do you do? And what are you living for at the moment? What's your passion?
So my name is Ronnie. I'm 30 years old. Been in Australia for about 9 years now. And I have two restaurants, so Shelanous and Shelley, which are both sort of a show restaurants, a multi-sensory restaurant. Most of the time I say multi-sensory, people say multi-what. So I have no idea what it is. So basically we're playing with the senses and we're trying to create a night that is a little bit different than any sort of normal restaurant. One long table, things that are very serious and looking really good, but at the same time fun. As you remember, we're dressing as fish.
We are.
We actually dressed you as a fish one time. And yeah, the whole idea is to bring everyone's together in one night.
It's a, just for those watching, it's a 10-course degustation. And as you say, multi-sensory, but we're playing with the seasons, we're playing with everything. And there's one final show at the end, which you really have to see to believe it. But the food is amazing and the experience is fantastic. And whether you're going there by yourself or as a group, absolutely incredible. So, and you also pair that with some wines as well.
With the cocktails also, we try to make you drunk by the end.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Well, they always
but also we have, the interesting part is a lot of people we have the dinner and we have a lot of people that are coming for the non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
Because at the end you're going to a lot of places and you got this non-alcoholic beverage that are pretty boring. They're just like juices. Mm-hmm. We're really, really trying with Fabi to have drinks that people literally drinking them and be like, are you sure there's no alcohol in there? So we then make them feel like,
part of the experience. Yeah,
part of the experience.
That's it. So last thing too, it's apparently #1 rated restaurant on Google in Australia. Is that correct?
Yeah. I don't know how much is important for everyone else, but for us, it's pretty amazing.
Well, I think when I'm going to restaurants, I always look at reviews. Then I always try and judge, is that person a critic? Are they just going around giving bad reviews? Or are they in opposition?
But the funny part is with all of that, there's a lot of people that also it looks so big that there's people thinking that it's fake. Mm-hmm. And they're thinking that it's our friends or cousins. I'm like, I don't have that many friends. So right now in Shelanous, we're sitting at 1,165 star review. Yeah. Which is pretty insane. And Shelley is 465 star review in 3 months.
Amazing.
It's pretty cool. But to be honest with you, the interesting part about the review is it's not because we're doing the food is good, the drinks are good. But what makes actually the big difference with our review is, when you're going to a restaurant and you're sitting and the waiter doesn't give you his name, they don't connect to each other. So whenever they're doing sort of the first mistake or anything, you're gonna be like, oh, they didn't take care of me. But because we're entering the night, you remember our waiters or all of my staff, they're telling you their name, they're laughing with you. If they're forgetting a cutlery or they're forgetting something, you'll be like, it's Ronnie, And then even the second time or the third time. So we're sort of saving ourselves with connection, not only with what we actually do.
And I find that too, as I said, there's two types of staff. There'll be those that are front facing and those in the background. You don't seem to have that. Everybody's forward facing. They're speaking to the client. Even from the moment you enter, it's actually a surprise all the way until when you leave at the end. But it hasn't always been that easy, has it? So you come to Australia with a dream. Let's go back. We'd like to discover the person behind the passion. Talk to us about what happened 9 years ago.
So that was actually it was a bit of a journey. So when I came to Australia, so I was so when I turned 18, so I was in a hospitality school, and I was traveling. I started in Tel Aviv. Then after I was in Switzerland. Then after I was in Italy. In France, my parents. I was born in Lyon, which is the big capital of food. And since I was a kid, there was always me wanted to surprise everyone. So when I was 8, 9, my mom, she's a pretty good cook, but she doesn't have any patience to actually cook. And every time there was guests coming, I always wanted to like sort of cook. Like, so if I had something cool to show them, it was 8 or 9. But what made me like really like sort of tickle, it's them going like, wow, what is this? You know, like, there was a moment that I discovered mustard and mayo together as a great sauce.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, but it was long time ago. You know, it was a thing. It wasn't even a thing. So I've done like this mustard mayo with the veggies, and people were like, wow, that's amazing. So and then it really made me feel something like, and I was like going really off on just people going, wow, it's cool. And so, and then, but in Lyon, my mom, she's a real estate agent. My dad is pretty known over there. And in the hospitality world, they know a lot of people. They're going to a lot of restaurants. So they could get me in any sort of restaurant. And when I started to move on, you know, a little bit, like when I started to become older, I really wanted to do something by myself. And there was one place that everyone was telling me good things about it. It was Australia. And it was far enough so I can be my own person. I'm not related to what my parents are. Are you the son of this, you know? So I came here and landed straight away. I saw best restaurant in Melbourne, so I landed in Videmont. And big struggle over there because I couldn't speak any English. And I'm a pretty nice person. Like, I love helping. And in those kind of places, if you're a nice one, you're not gonna do well. You need to be a fearless. Like, it's so hard. It's they're giving you so much shit. Like, can we swear here?
We can do whatever we want.
Cool.
This is LUX Chats.
So they're giving you so much shit, and you know, they're a bunch of dickheads, and they know that. So they're not gonna be surprised. You know, people rotating so much.
Yeah.
And after that, I was pretty broken, honestly. I didn't even want to be a chef anymore. And there was one guy that was working in the Sofitel at number 35, and he hooked me into the Sofitel. And so I get into the Sofitel, and even in the Sofitel, I struggled so much because I wanted to move up quickly. Really move up quickly. And in those kind of restaurants, if you say like, I want to be the best, they're like, no, you're 20 years old. Yeah. You're not going to become the best. And then after a few months, I started to go really up, and my head chef started to recognize me. And I became sous chef. I moved up, and then I became head chef because of COVID. You know, COVID hit. Yeah. There's no one. They sort of like fired the old head chef. But in those kind of places, and you're probably gonna understand me, they're closing you.
Of course.
Any creativity is not for there. Like my executive chef was there for 23 years. Yeah. So when you see a kid like me, I'm an alien. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. It's like, Ronnie, no, you need to sort of like
play within the rules. Yeah.
Play in the books, tick the boxes, you know. And I was like, every day I was like, yeah, but I wanted, this is going to be so cool. Imagine you see my dessert show. Yeah. I propose it to them. I have the same story. You watch a Bohemian Rhapsody? Yeah. You know the thing with the radio? Yeah. When he said like it's 7 minutes, who's going to listen to that? Yeah. I got the exact same thing with my dessert show that I proposed to them. And my F&B manager and the director, they'd be like, Ronnie, that's not going to work. And what you told me about the dessert show to see it, to believe it, it's exactly that. And then because I was on sponsorship over there, I couldn't do anything. I was sort of locked. And I had just had a baby, so I couldn't do anything. And then the moment I got the PR, I got a proposition from the synagogue when I got married to do a pop-up of a restaurant. And that's why I created Shelanous. Yes. So we were doing that as a 1 day event per week. Yeah. So you've seen the whole show. Everything that you've seen.
Was that in the same space?
It was it was in the synagogue, close to my house. Yeah. But and then imagine it was a childcare during the day, so everything that I had to create, I had to break it down at the end of the night. Yeah. So even the food that coming down from the ceiling, I've created a whole system. Wow. It was insane. I was there at 7 in the morning and finished at 1 in the morning. And the most interesting part is, if you were looking at me at this time, I had no money. So even the starlight that my saying, it was lights from eBay. Yeah. So we were like attaching them. Yeah. Every time I created something, you know, like when you're putting something up that you have to break it down, it all breaks down. So I had to create system to do it. And if you were working during the day that I was creating that, you'd be like, Ronnie, $250. No one will ever come. So I had to be a little bit, you know, to be an entrepreneur, you need you need to believe in things that people will be like, no. And we started that. And then we've done influencers, you know, one night, 2 nights. And then we got one reel that popped up. And then we did like, I don't know, 500,000 views. Yeah. And then we got booked out for the whole, for like 2 months. And I was like, we need to open something. We had no money and like 95 grand to open a restaurant. So, but we had a strong idea. We had people on waiting list. And we're like, let's just do it. Sign a place.
So chapter 2 happened. So that's basically, let's talk about this now. So you've moved from pop-ups from the $250 eBay lights through to getting booked out for 2 months. So you basically, and one of the keys that we always share with this is it's about views. It's about ownership. The more people watching, when you have eyeballs, you can pretty well sell anything. Now, in this case, you had eyeballs, but you had no money. So you've signed a lease in Port Melbourne. So that's the first one. Is that Rouse Street? Is that what you said?
Rouse Street, yeah.
Yep. So
it's a tiny place.
When did that start?
We've signed it on the 18th of December.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we had already people on waiting list.
Yeah.
And we selling our ticket in advance.
Yeah.
So we sold ticket.
Yeah.
And we needed the money to build. So it means that.
So you forward funded.
Yes, 17th of February was the opening. So whatever happened, we had to be open on the 17th of February. And like as you've seen, we have a table that's coming up for the ceiling, and we had to create all of that.
Yeah.
So it was insane because at the end we were ready. And the funny part is, 2 days before we've done a trial with friends.
Yeah.
And it looks like nothing. Like honestly, we were like, my guys were so depressed because they're all big shots hospitality. And I had to be the one, and I look at it, I was like, yeah, it looks a bit tacky.
Yeah.
But he needed to be the one that believed more than them. So be like, no, guys, it's going to be okay. Yeah. And I was like, I just wanted to cry in the corner.
Yeah.
And at the end, we're opening on the 17th. And on the 17th, the interesting part is we got someone that at the end of the night, first day, he just said like, oh, book me in for I want to book the whole venue for my birthday.
Yeah.
So on the first night.
Love it.
And it's insane because, like for a lot of people in business, $5,000 is nothing. But at this time when we opened, we had $2,000 on our bank account. We didn't even know, like the spices of the kitchen, I was buying it from Coles, the small ones, because I couldn't buy it. And then it's insane to realize how much when you're starting a business, $2,000 is insane. And then after a few years, you're like $10,000. Oh, it's okay. We can.
So you've got some staff and some people. Let's talk about the people that stood beside you. So in that skeleton crew that you initially had, you would have some chefs, some waiters, waitresses.
It's a sommelier.
Sommelier. So who were the people that you had that were we want to acknowledge that sort of believed in the vision from the beginning?
That's I think one of my biggest point in most of my conversation is, sometimes I feel like we're giving a lot of credit to the people, to the creator, to the people that create. But without my guys, I can't do anything. I couldn't do anything. Yeah. And sometimes I see a lot of people that giving only the credit to the head person.
Of course.
But like if I didn't have, it started off with Roman, which was my left hand right. Yeah. Then after we had Jean-Louis, which was the manager in the Sofitel. And we had Fabi, which you met Fabi, Batman. So Fabi had a pretty serious accident a few years ago. Yes. So he's speaking like this. So he doesn't have vocal cords.
Yeah.
But and then because of that, he couldn't run his big shot restaurant. It was a massive restaurant. So he had to find another solution. So and then he became one of the part of all of that. And we created that, all of us. Yeah. We didn't even pay ourselves for like 3 months. But I couldn't create that with normal people because we couldn't. You can't expect any workers to do any person to do the job that they did.
What about that's kind of something funny or bad that's happened? Has there ever dropped on anyone or anything gone wrong? Like we don't want to put too much on record here, but
I think
you got things falling from the ceiling.
You've done business with friends, like most. Have you done any? Like have you opened things with friends?
Yeah, a lot of time. Yeah, it's awful,
and it's terrible because. The most of the time you want to say something I got really good, like they're really good at what they're doing. Yeah. So having to tell someone a bad thing that they've done when they're doing so many good things, it's hard because they're always going to be like, yeah, but you don't say. And I'm like, that's not the point. It's not because you're doing doing really good that you haven't done one thing wrong. So for me, it's always the hardest part because also I don't want to be like too much, but I'm someone that loves detail. I love... Like if the music is not good, I can make someone's really feeling bad because, and that's what makes you've seen Shelanous and Shelly. Yeah. It's all about the detail. It's not about all the show and about all the things. So I would say the funnier part, Roman, which was my strong, like at this time was my strongest one. His wife was pregnant and he had his baby on the opening day.
Oh, okay.
He did that to me.
Yeah.
He had a baby on the opening day, and you're like, come on.
Yeah.
You can't do much about it.
Very, very funny. So let's talk about. So now you've opened up Shelley. So one of them was purely just basically vegan or vegetarian. The first one. and now in Caulfield, you've got a new restaurant. That's a bigger space, so they can host more people.
Yeah.
Is that 30 that can host up to?
30 people.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the first one is 22. It's tiny.
Yeah.
It's a very small, and I think that's what made also
Yeah.
the success of this place is how small it is, and also I think
It's also hard to get into. So that's, I mean, when you're selling that, even unless you know Ronnie, guys, give him a buzz.
Not gonna say sorry about that, but like also it's also the part of what people want. They want to feel like they cannot get in. They love that.
Yeah.
And like you see right now in Shelanous and Shelley, you walking into our website, you see Shelanous fully booked. They want to go just to Shelanous.
Yeah.
And Shelley, there's some space. And even though Shelley is the one that I'm there,
Yeah.
the actual chef, and they prefer to go to Shelanous. So it's really interesting. But the what I love about Shelanous is it's so small that people they feel you know very connected.
It's very intimate. Yeah.
In Shelley, it's way bigger.
Yeah.
And if you don't have enough people to fill the space, that's what make it a little bit like more, you know, more tacky. So we're trying to find the right way to sell it. And I think also the fact that we're in Port Melbourne is also, it helps a lot.
What's key? Well, there's nothing else in that area really that's, yeah, I mean,
That does the same thing now.
Unless you want to go to a steak restaurant or a pub.
Because there's a lot of, there's a lot of restaurant that does like sort of like multi-sensory, but they're very like rigid. They're very, you know, like you've been to thousands of, you can't scream, you can't laugh. You know,
so what would you say to a couple of young chefs out there that are only 20 years of age that are really wanting to get into the industry? They've got a desire to have their own restaurant, to do a pop-up. Would you encourage? Don't do it. Don't do it.
Nah.
Yes, definitely do it. I think definitely do it. And I think it'd be interesting to know the way of that food is going to go. A lot of people now are focusing on health and well-being as part of it. They love sensory experiences. Is there something you'd like to do with food that hasn't been done yet? So I like the idea of fire, nitrous oxide. I also like Korean BBQ where you're cooking your own food. Is there something that you're thinking about in, say, a third restaurant? Is there an idea that's in the back of your mind?
But in real, I got a massive.
You got something.
I got a massive. I can't.
I know.
Honestly,
Just a little hint.
I can't say it, but like it's like the next restaurant is gonna be in Sydney.
Yeah.
And it's something that no one has ever done.
Well, we're already booking in.
It's almost like an experience. Like you'll be like, "What the fuck was that?" You know, like I want to go to there, and I want to go so hard that even when you're going there, we're giving you the clothes that you need to wear. So everyone.
I think I definitely think that's good because one of the things that we did, obviously, me dressing up as the fish in there, but getting the customers involved with the experience. Having them cook or participate, and especially the clothes.
But it's also a very hard part. Sorry, I'm stopping you because you see, like 2 days ago, there's they went Shelanous, a husband and wife, and the husband, you can see he didn't want to be here.
Yeah,
he didn't know what he was.
Yeah,
you know, he's sitting side. You're someone that could talk with the wall.
Yeah,
there's some people that they just don't like to engage, and it's sad. You know, you give them. You remember we have something with the popcorn and the drinks inside.
Yeah, in
the same world as we live. There's people that you give them that and they don't smile.
Yeah.
And I'm like, life is already hard enough. Just enjoy. And then the whole night they're like this. Yeah. So what I mean in all of that is the hardest part is we want to do so many good things and some interesting things, but sometimes we don't. If you're doing a little bit too much, some people will get really frightened.
They get sensory overwhelmed too.
Exactly.
Some people are sensitive.
Like imagine I had a girl that she was sitting side by side with people, and she came to me and she's like, I can't sit side by side with people. So I said to her, like, okay, let's do something nice. I'm just going to say to her, now that you guys all sat side by side, will you guys play the game? Now you can, if you want, you can change. And I told her, like, just say, oh yeah, I want to still. She didn't. And then she had to leave. And her husband, he was such a cool guy. And I actually felt bad for him. Because if you want to enjoy and having people together, this is the right place for you. But if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to. I think it's language.
I would say introverts don't get dessert. Sorry
and
about
then,
that.
that's one of the video that I want to do. Like I literally want to look at the camera and be like, guys, please, if you're not someone that is fun, that loves people, don't come.
Yeah.
You're just gonna waste a spot and you're gonna waste your money. It's pretty expensive also. Like, you know, it's not cheap.
Well, not too bad. It's cheaper than Foodamon, so
definitely cheaper than Attica as well. I went to Attica, I was like, wow.
I've seen some of the wines there.
Because it's $295 with drinks and food.
I always find it interesting to see the wine menu, and when you're looking at some Rothschild's wine or something like that, and they're $113,000 for a bottle, it's that's a pretty big celebration. So I think $250, $295 is really good. I've got a couple more questions for you, and then I said we're going to conclude. But So now that you've got this third restaurant in mind in Sydney, is that a 26 or 27 plan?
The premise is I'm just missing one thing.
Okay.
$7.5 million. That's the only thing the rest I'm pretty good at.
Yeah,
that.
it's okay. We can get guys. If anyone wants to sponsor Ronnie, we can.
Because I got everything in here. And the people that I told them the story and the whole thing, that there was no one thing that they're like, you can't do that.
Okay, well we.
But I'm thinking in Sydney it's gonna be a big thing because.
Yeah.
Just because of the people that coming in Sydney, I want to be like on top. Like the second thing will be the Opera House.
Yeah.
To visit in Sydney.
Oh, perfect.
We will be the first one.
Number.
It's pretty much what I want.
I've got somebody you might better speak to. Okay, let's talk.
Like
no, definitely. Apart from this up here. So next thing, Lux. Let's talk about some Lux items. I know you're working hard. You've got your mum in the restaurant, that sort of stuff, and also you got a little addition floating around. But when you take some time off, okay, eventually, what are some of those items, those luxury things you'd like to do? Is it travel again? Is it the watch? What's the money's no object? What would you like to get?
That's it's funny because I've traveled for the first time in business class. The last time, and I said to my wife, I'm not going back.
No, you can't.
I'm not going back.
Yeah.
Just the feeling when the people are passing when they're coming in, I'm like, ooh, I'm in business class, and it's just such a feeling. It's not even about the luxury. It's just about the feeling of like I'm doing something right, and I'm doing it. I'm in the right way, and I'm not into watch. I'm not into clothes. I'm not even like into. You know what? I got one of my client, one of my best client of private dinner. He offered me Louis Vuitton shoes, $2,300.
Yeah.
I don't even wear them because I'm like it's really showing like it's not the first thing that I want you to understand from me. Showing you like, oh, I have money.
Well, I think your communication's through giving anyway. So that's maybe so we can put together maybe a Lux private dinner for.
And
for
that's
10.
exactly like you see yesterday. And what I want to show the most is that I want to share the love, and I want to bring.
Can I propose an idea for you, just randomly?
I love ideas.
Yeah. What about if we, at the BME, I'm part of the LUX Chats guests. What about if we hosted a day where you teach us how to cook and we follow and we all cook together? So we're molding, we're cooking our own dish. So like a cooking class.
Wait. If I'm not a really good chef.
Yeah, no, but we'll get so many other chefs to come and help. We cut off this one. No. We know you're not bad. We know you're not
bad.
Fish
and chips, but they also.
But a day of surprises. I just think that would be good to get, even if it's a 5-course degustation, but where you get your members to cut and prepare and actually bake. And I think that would be a really cool.
I'm
idea.
actually wondering, do people really want to put their hand and cook?
They do painting. They do paint and sips.
Yeah.
So maybe you could do, even
cook
if it was it could be cook and sip. Yeah.
As long as there's the sip, I think everyone's going to come.
I think we'll be fine. The sipping part, but it could even just go with in terms of melting cheese and putting something together. Toasty. The ultimate toasty.
The ultimate toasty. That's such a great idea.
It's a great idea.
With a little bit of caviar on top.
With 100%. So let's garnish it. All right, we're going to finish off now. What is one message that you'd like to say to the people out there watching?
In real is like, especially when you're looking at the whole journey that we from where we are and where we're at in 2 years, because we opened the second one in 2 years, is as many people as going to tell you, no, don't do it, it's scary, all of this kind of thing. As long as you believe in what you want to do, and also you have the good surrounding, because connection is everything. And 100%. I think you're the best example in all of that. Because I was just as an idea that I want to do a podcast, and he was like, oh yeah, I got a podcast. So having the right connection and talking and sharing the love, and not just about business, because it's not all about money.
No.
Once you got into that, the rest is only time and patience, I guess.
Time and patience.
Yeah, which I don't have both of them. So.
Well, you need both if you're going to cook a chicken.
Yeah,
anyway.
Fair enough.
So you don't want to rush that one.
No, you don't want to rush that one if you're going to get salmonella.
That's it. All right, guys, thank you for watching LUX Chats. Thank you to That Creative Hub for having us on here once again. We'll see you next week for another episode. Ciao.
Amazing.